Hi everyone, welcome to Learn Power Skills, your one-stop solution to personal development. Today's video we will be focusing on curiosity. We will be trying to understand whether or not it is good to be curious. With that said, what exactly is curiosity? Curiosity refers to a strong feeling, a strong desire to know something or to learn something. Right from our childhood, all of us have loved to ask questions, especially at the very early ages. Why does this happen? Why does that happen? Especially to our parents. Why is this? Why is that? The term why was strongly associated to us right from our childhood. Human beings, by our own nature, are very curious beings. We want to know why something happens when it happens and what is the purpose behind something happening. Curiosity has a lot of advantages, but what somebody might not know is that there are a few disadvantages of curiosity as well. That's why when we try to answer this question of whether or not it is okay to be curious, we'd have to look from both perspectives. The first perspective that you'd have to see is the positive perspective, and the second perspective is the negative perspective. Now, let's obviously start off with the positives because that's what people would like to hear. Starting with positives, if there was no curiosity, we wouldn't have inventions and innovations that are present every single day. Because right now, the world is changing mainly because of technology. How is new technology coming up? Because people are curious in order to do something better. They're curious on why something happens this way. Can it happen in a better or more efficient way? That is what leads to better technology coming up. Every concept that we know of originated mainly because of curiosity. In childhood, we were taught that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. But when children ask, why is 1 plus 1 equal to 2? Most teachers and definitely all parents would not be able to answer this because the level of complexity there is in order to explain this is enormous, and most importantly, people themselves don't know what is the logic behind 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 because we just follow it because a lot of other people are already following it. We follow the crowd. That's why, okay, 1 plus 1, they're telling us that's equal to 2. Okay, we will say it's equal to 2. That's what's happened because at an early stage, people try to bury our curiosity. Were the children's question answered? That's the problem because they might not have received a clear answer to this question or any question similar to this. That's why the level of curiosity keeps going down as ages increase. Because we don't want to be left with no answer. We don't want to be shut up. That's why we as human beings try to change our behavior from having a high level of curiosity to having lesser amounts of curiosity. Now, why did I put this in the positive space? When children keep asking questions, adults also start thinking about how this child is able to think this way. Because if something is happening on the road, the child would be the first to notice because of their curious instinct, because of their nature, their behavior that's extremely curious. That's when we start noticing something is going on. Curiosity is definitely very high in children. As ages go, it keeps going down. At the same time, should it go down? Is it okay to go down? By nature, by our society, by our environment, it is constantly going down. Apart from that, it is very important to be curious because the things that we see is what leads to the things that come up in the future. If we did not see that petroleum or fuels were decreasing, the concept of electric cars might not have come up. Right now we have inventions of cars that are going to be run by water. How is this happening? How is this happening? This is because of curiosity. The levels of curiosity is extreme. Right from great scientists who have come up with concepts and inventions till the normal people who we are. Curiosity is definitely there, and that is fueling the growth of this entire world. Curiosity fuels growth. That's a positive. Let's talk about a few negatives. The first one is platforms like Instagram Platforms like Facebook and other social media platforms depend on this curiosity. Depend on this curiosity to get more audience, try to retain their audiences on their platforms, and most importantly, make money out of that. How, you may ask? What is Instagram? Why do we use Instagram? Mainly to share photos or videos of ourselves, and more importantly, to see what others share, to see what photos or videos are shared by others. Why? We are curious to know what happens in their life. Their life in one or the other manner affects us. If somebody is having an enormously luxurious life and they're showcasing it on Instagram, we obviously look at it, we watch it multiple times, and then start feeling bad that their life is so good and ours is not. We are being extremely curious about the way, about the lifestyle of other people. In general, we are being so curious about other people that these platforms have taken advantage of that. These giant technological organizations have understood that human curiosity is more inclined towards people. Now, we have curiosity in terms of people, in terms of events, in terms of ideas. Right? This is all that can be. People as in the regular people, events as in some situations happen, something has occurred, or ideas. You have thought of something. Something has come into your mind and you're being curious about that. This is the only three ways anybody can get curious about. It's either relating to people, it's either relating to events or situations, or it is relating to ideas. Now, people are so into other people. People are so curious about others that this becomes a negative sign. When we take in so much content on social media, especially about the lives of others, it starts affecting us in an adverse way, in a negative way. That's why it is not okay. This is not okay. We should not be curious about people. Being curious about people is not okay, but there is one exception. If you are being curious about highly successful people as to how their lives went, what challenges did they face, how they went to the level that they are right now, what can I learn from them? Accepted. That is accepted. But most of us are not like that. We just want to see the lives of people who are around us, our friends, our family, and if somebody's having a good life and we see that first thing in the morning, well, our day doesn't quite go well. That's why it's okay to have your role models, be curious about how their goals are going on, what they're doing in life, how they reach there, and eventually if we are looking at leaders of the world, business leaders, technological leaders, and political leaders, spiritual leaders, it's okay. But let's not be curious about the regular people who might not be able to add enough value to our lives. That's a negative. Let's focus on another positive. We spoke about the world growing this way because of curiosity. Because without curiosity, we won't have inventions, we won't have innovations, we pretty much will not have anything. That's why this growth is fueled by curiosity. If curiosity is lost, this is what will happen to the world. The world is going to stay this way. There will not be any upward graph. The world is going to stay the way it is, because without curiosity we will not be able to learn anything new. We will not be able to have more inventions, innovations, and new changes around us. That's why curiosity is a must, especially when the world must take changes. Let's focus on another negative, shall we? We focused about people. Let's focus about events. I'm sure all of us have heard of this topic called gossip. Why does gossip happen? Why do people share about others without them being there? Well, curiosity is one of the main reasons. If I am in a social situation and somebody is talking about another person, I might want to listen to them. And when somebody is willing to listen, I might want to share more. This is what triggers gossip. So, at any event there may be, we might talk about an individual in an event, an individual in a particular situation. This is a mixture of people and events. We talk about individuals, we talk about events together. That's why gossip is something that's never needed, because it is a very negative vibe, a negative energy that spreads across, which is not adding value to you. Anything that is not adding value to you, there's no point in having it in your life. So as we've understood, we have positives and negatives of curiosity. But is it okay to be curious? It is 100% okay to be curious if you're talking about events, if you're talking about ideas, but never associate events with people who are not adding value to you. If you associate events with successful people, that's all right. That's all right, because learning from people who are more successful than you can add value to your life. With all of this said, it is 100% okay to be curious, because curiosity gives you an extremely strong feeling of wanting to learn more, wanting to know why something happens, how something happens, and this feeling that we had extremely at a very strong level during our childhood may be lost if we don't keep being curious. That's why it is okay to ask questions, 100% okay to ask questions. If you don't find the answers, it might not be the end of the world. Remember that. We have Google. Even if Google doesn't know the answers, there may come a time when you find the answers. But if you don't, well, there's not much that can be done. But still, always be curious, because curiosity helps fuel growth only for individuals. Not exactly, but for the world altogether. It's okay to be curious. Ask as many questions as possible. If you have a question about curiosity, ask us in the comment section and we would be happy to answer. With all of this said, thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe to Learn Power Skills and follow us on Instagram.